What's going on, y'all? Holy shit here. In this video, we're going to see what Iku-Turso can do on defense. So he's looking kind of snazzy here, looking like a gremlin. I think according to Finnish legend, he is a sea monster. So that kind of sounds like he's the Loch Ness Monster of the US. So there's probably a lot of stories behind this character here. Limit broken, druid at fast mana speed, 963 attack, 956 defense, 1642 HP. So that's fairly good stats being at fast mana speed. I always like to correlate if this hero is going to last long enough for the ability to go off. So many times if you look at somebody who might be a slow mana speed, if they're kind of weak on the defense and HP, there's really no point of putting them on defense at all. So always keep that in mind when putting a character on defense. His special ability is Dreaded Waters, which kind of correlates with him being a sea monster. Deals 280% damage to the target and nearby enemies. They receive 291 water damage over 3 turns, which is uncleansable for fire characters and lasts 2 turns longer for them. So they want you to be mindful about bringing fire against this hero. And the caster steals 51% of the healing applied to the target and nearby enemies for 3 turns. Against fire characters, this is uncleansable and lasts for 2 turns longer. So yeah, 5 turns is a long time. So if his ability goes off and you have some, fire heroes on your setup, that could be problematic. So he only hits a target and nearby enemies, so that's not always guaranteed to hit 3. So keep that in mind when putting him on the defense. You're most likely going to end up only hitting 2, which from attacking most setups, that's typically what ends up happening. Then his passive is the Power of Sisu. Low health for this character for the first time recovers 15% health and 50% mana gen. So I kind of like that passive. What does that look like in terms of HP? That's just under 300 HP. So hey, that's enough to keep him alive. And then with that 15% mana boost, there's a good chance that he can go off a second time. So I like that. Family bonus receives -10, -25, -40% less damage from special skills of the stronger element. So in this case, it would be fire. So yeah, that depends on if there's 1, 2, or 3 members of this family. So if there's 3 members, he would end up getting 40% less damage from the stronger element. So that's okay. I like how they want you to kind of think of these setups, a little bit more synergistically. Kind of reminds me of like Vela, and then like pairing her with like Black Knight. So that would be attack. I think it was attack down at one point at negative like 54% attack. So if you ended up having like Black Knight as a tank, and then Vela on the flank, if she went off, it would be really tough to have fire essentially take out anybody, because their defense or attack would be down. So yeah, I think there was a synergy with Telluria with that as well. But nonetheless, I like the fact that their small giant is like, I don't know if it's too late really, because there's so many heroes that are just essentially good no matter what you're going against. But I do like the fact that they put new characters on this. There's a good chance that eventually there will be somebody that will be really paired well with him, and then they can create another Vela, Black Knight, Telluria type of synergy. So look out for that. So his attack is mediocre, 280% damage. So what does that look like? Against my heroes here, it's just over 500. So if they hit the maximum of 3 heroes, that's going to be 1500 HP damage. Not enough to really make you quiver, right? But he also does that water damage. So if you're going against, let's say a fire hero, that's going to be 5 turns. And what does that look like? 126 water damage multiplied by 5. You're looking at 630 water damage, best case. And then all other colors is going to be 378 for a total of, I don't know, you're probably looking at, best case, 2,000 altogether, like HP, maybe 2,500, something like that. So I think where he kind of stands out is, if he can go off and you have a setup like I do, which, a lot of times I depend on the healing to survive long enough to have my heroes go off and then, kind of win that match. If he applies that, that stealing your HP, kind of like Vanda does, that could be, problematic. Matter of fact, I think it would be kind of cool to see him paired with Vanda or somebody else, maybe in the wing, so that, there's going to be a series of multiple chances to have the opponent have a really tough time healing. Actually, I went against him, and there was another setup that had fiends, and if that fiend was to go off and you don't have any sort of counter on that, between him and that fiend, it is really tough to try to recover from that, especially if you only have one healer. So yeah, kind of keep that in mind. You have really good ways to pair him and make really good synergy. So I see a lot of possibilities here. I'd say overall, offensively, I think it'd be fun to use. Pair him right. He's probably a solid A minus. As far as defense goes, I would say, if you got the right setup, he could be a solid, A to A minus. Again, if there's some slow heroes and he's basically the only one popping off, it might not be enough to do enough damage to win that match. So, he's anywhere between like a B plus and A minus. So I think overall, decent character. If he could guarantee to hit 3 targets, that would be a little bit better. But again, he typically only hits 2. So fun character. Definitely like the graphics. He's cool looking. I don't think he'd get nerfed. I think overall, I like him, but not somebody that I might not put him on my defense, maybe for the new factor, but I don't think he's going to. Maybe, I guess, he could be paired with a couple of other heroes that can make this synergy a little bit better. So, anyhow, that's today's assessment. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Later, y'all.